There are three basic ways groups function. One is they have the fantasy that there is a dependable leader somewhere. And this leader will always be dependable, have all the answers, never make a mistake, take care of them, I would put in parentheses, like a mother, and all they have to do is follow his or her orders. Now, if you are a principal that doesn't know that fantasy, and it happens in your school, you'll start to feel sort of weird. You'll come home and say, John, why don't you treat me more respectfully? I'm treated with more respect than by my teachers at school and by my husband. That's a school with beginning problems. A second dynamic is called fight-flight. This type of leader is one who is forced into the model of band-aid problem solving and of quick, rather short-term solutions. I'm going to introduce one piece of politics into this. George W. Bush was a good example of a fight leader. He loved to fight and came into his own after 9/11. The problem with that sort of leader is there's no continuity within the school unless there's something really going wrong. So such a leader comes into their own when there's a hell of a hassle of negotiating a union contract, or when there's a suicide or a homicide. But in between, it's just lying around saying, what is the school all about? Everybody says, nothing going on here. So that leader only leads through crisis. And a principal will feel that, and they will feel that as peculiar. There's a third type of leader called a pairing assumption. This is a little more obscure, but within it is the idea that this principal will always give us hopefulness, will always be hopeful, and if we merely stay together, she will make sure that from her extraordinary mind will emerge a brand new principal who will continue to take care of us. And again, all we have to do is wait with faith. How this differs from a dependent leader is that there's almost a religious feeling within the school, that the principal is the spiritual entity, and that people walk around them very carefully so as not to upset them. I mean, I'm making it a bit extreme just to give you an idea. Now, what we found, and we have one school that has avoided being a bullying school by doing this. When the principal is aware of unconscious action, she can make a move that interprets that to the staff. Not necessarily in the language of psychoanalysis, but in the language of teaching. When people become aware that they're doing that, they will tend to change it. When they change it, the school becomes more aware of itself. And when it becomes more aware of itself, it will be more connected and more mentalizing. So a lot of what we suggest is done in schools comes from the idea of looking at unconscious fantasies that teachers and students have about the school leader.